Hey there, and welcome back to the Knights of the Squared Circle Wrestling Podcast. I'm Mike A.D.
And I am Joey D.
Welcome to segment 2, because wrestling this week is so goddamn full to the brim with stuff.
No kidding.
In our first segment, we went over the SummerSlam results, which we were slightly underwhelmed by the card, especially because of the grandiose length of the card.
Grandiose.
It's, 5 hours or something like that is a little fucking excessive.
Yeah, that is pretty fucked up.
So, on to the illustrious city of, guess what, Brooklyn, New York, for the
Second time.
Well,
third time,
for the third time, because NXT was on the, happened to be on the, was it Saturday night?
Yeah, it was Saturday
How
night.
much of it did you catch?
I caught an hour of it.
Okay. Can you do a basic 5-minute rundown of the show?
It started off pretty good. The first few matches that I remember I saw was No Way Jose versus the world's greatest man, Austin Aries.
That's what he's called, booked as? Everybody, excuse my ignorance. I got rid of the WWE Network for cost reasons. So
obviously Aries won, and then
I haven't seen NXT for several months.
Hideo came out and then GTS'd him.
I heard that he got hurt.
He came back like a few weeks ago.
I heard that Austin Aries got fucked up by that kick. He ruptured his eardrum. That's what I heard.
Well, fuck.
Well, it's not a surprise, is it? People getting hurt.
People are gonna get hurt.
Well, at least it's not fucking WrestleMania season yet. So, I only caught like maybe the last 45 minutes or so of this card.
I believe the second match was a tag title match.
Because I remember seeing the Tommaso
Ciampa
and the Gargano against the Revival.
And
very good wrestling match.
They lost, unfortunately, but it was a good match.
Tommaso Ciampa is gonna fucking turn.
That's the way it's looking. The next match, my girlfriend loved this simply because of the entrance. We have
the best entrance in wrestling now.
I'm trying to find a different adjective to describe this.
Superlative.
We have Bobby Roode, glorious Bobby Roode, with that amazing entrance, coming down from the sky like he's Jesus, with the amazing theme song, by the way. Versus, I can't pronounce his fucking name, so I'm just going to call him what his middle name is pronounced in English. Dog.
What's his real name?
It's like Andreas...
Oh, yeah, him.
I'm sorry, if I can't pronounce your name, you've lost me in promoting yourself.
Well, they're just going to change it to a one-word name anyway. He started out as Alexander Rusev, and then he became Rusev.
Why don't they just call the dude by his middle name? Because that seems to be the only one I can remember. CN or something.
James Almost? The Almost guy?
Yeah.
What was he called before?
I don't fucking remember.
What was his original persona? Because he had a much cooler name before. And they decided, like they do a lot of the time, to change the guy's name.
And gimmick.
Like Hideo Itami? What's wrong with Kenta? What's wrong with Kenta?
What's wrong?
It's a lot easier name to remember than Hideo Itami.
I just found it weird when they changed Asuka's name from Kana. It's like, really? You have to give the most generic name ever used in every anime ever? Asuka? You know how many times I hear that fucking name in anime? Like, okay, give it to a female Japanese wrestler. It's because we didn't make you, so now we have to rebuild you.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Anyways, that match was amazing. Well, there's my adjective. Frickin' Rude won the match with a pump handle slam.
Okay.
Which I found kind of off because, like, he doesn't do that ever. And for some reason, it's like his brand new finisher.
Uh-huh.
Like, he used to do the Rude Bomb.
The Rude Bomb,
He used to do the payoff, which was the Fisherman Suplex.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh.
Obviously, he's trying to redesign himself, but, like, I could have chosen a better move than that.
You know what? He totally redesigned his entrance, didn't he? He even stole the Wade Barrett lift.
Oh, yeah.
They had to make use of that thing somehow.
So that was one of the last matches that like I saw for like a little bit. I didn't really remember what else was on. I know that Asuka did fight.
Was the tag match?
Yeah,
I saw that match. That was a very decent match.
The Asuka versus
the Bailey match. I thought it was a very good wrestling match as well. Very good.
The entrances were astounding too. They really go all out when they actually do NXT pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. That was a really good match, and Asuka's still the champion. Mm-hmm. Bailey would leave the next night to be on Raw.
I mean, I think what they were foreshadowing when the crowd was saying, "Thank you, Bailey. Thank you, Bailey." It's like, you know what? I'm going to see this girl real soon.
Yeah,
real soon.
The last match that I do recall seeing, obviously, was the last match of the pay-per-view. It was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Samoa Joe. Holy shit! Shinsuke's entrance was awesome.
With the freaking, he has his own violin player.
Never have I ever seen
anything
a violinist get a pop from a crowd.
Freaking amazing, eh, dude?
That must have been that young man's best night of his life. Even the crowd was like singing the song as he was playing, and as Shinsuke was walking out the ring, I'm like, that is star power. This is how you sell tickets.
This guy's like the Michael Jackson of wrestling.
Which Jess hates, by the way. She doesn't like Shinsuke just because of like she finds him very strange looking with the whole Michael Jackson, like with the waving with the fingers and all the thing he does his entrance.
You need guys that are different than other guys.
Which is why I like him, because he's different. They call him the King of Strong Style, which means he's very good with his kicks. And you can tell how good he was because he legitimately broke Samoa Joe's jaw. Face. And now Shinsuke is your new NXT champion.
Yeah,
this was a good match.
You know what? I just decided to check it out because I was streaming it because I no longer have the network.
You come to my house.
Well, you know what? I was trying. You know what? Marriage is like it's like a negotiation. There's compromises that have to be made.
You have to read every part of it, or else you get screwed.
Yeah, no, it's like you just can't be gone. Like it's not like you're 21 anymore. It's like I can't be like leaving the house like 4 nights a week and showing up, and God knows when I'm gonna show up. So I have to carefully temper the times I go out and when. So this is the reason why we have no podcast on Monday. So this is why we're doing this all today, because
reasons.
Life must be tempered with other things.
We do have a life, FYI.
Yes, exactly. So this match worth seeing as well, especially the last 7 or 8 minutes of this match really picked up tempo, and these guys started going at each other pretty severely. So
the other thing I did want to mention was that at ringside they had Becky, they had Sasha, they had Mick Foley, and his daughter.
Yeah.
What is his daughter's name again?
I can't recall.
Let's go and call her Cactus Jill.
Cactus Jill?
That's what she wanted for one of her personas. Because, Cactus Jack. Get it? Cactus Jill.
Yes, I understand that.
Anyways, that was NXT Brooklyn.
Really good. I recommend you see it.
I give it an 8 out of 10. Mm-hmm. The only reason I give it an 8. I would give it probably a 9 if I'd actually watched the match.
Mm-hmm.
I was skimming them just because I forgot that was on, so I had to rewatch it.
Okay. Now we fast forward to 48 hours later.
Monday Night fucking Raw. Holy shit.
From the freaking illustrious city of Brooklyn, New York. This crowd was still hot after another 48 hours of wrestling. It's pretty crazy.
So was I. I was expecting a good show, and then the opening segment, I was so fucking disappointed. I never have been so sad for wrestling in my life.
Mm-hmm. These things happen, Joey.
So we get the opening of the show with Finn in a fucking sling, because here's what happened. During the Finn match, we didn't call this spot. Rollins did a buckle bomb to Finn onto the barricade,
mm-hmm.
and fractured his fucking arm.
Yeah. He tore his labrum in his shoulder. Finn is going to be out 4 to 6 months. So as a result, Finn comes out and has to renege the Universal title that he won less than 24 hours ago. What a freaking downer this is.
This makes me fucking hate Rollins even more.
it's And
I would like to vent a little bit here where
okay.
I don't care if this dude is a face or a heel. In real life, in reality, he's a piece of shit. Hear me out in this.
Okay, sure.
The reason I say this is because of... I know this is outside of wrestling, but still. He cheated on his fiancée.
Okay.
What the fuck? You know how his fiancée got back at him? Well, ex-fiancée? She
I
posted
heard.
dick pics of him.
I
on the
think
internet.
everybody heard about that.
So here's my question. Why the fuck would you make this guy the face of your company? After that, he seems like poison. It feels like everything he's done has just been fucking terrible. This is a prime example. He fucking injured your main guy you're trying to push.
Mm-hmm. Sting?
Sting.
Sting's career.
He ended his career. Make that fucking move illegal now.
He broke Cena's face. He ended Sting's career.
And
he dislocated Balor's shoulder. All within a period of about a year.
This fucking guy is poison, and I'm fucking sick of it. This guy should not be a wrestler. Obviously, he should not.
Gotta admit, he's one hell of a wrestler, dude.
It doesn't matter how athletic he is. Like, if you get in the ring and you keep hurting your opponents, you're dumb as fuck as Ryback.
A little reckless. I've heard that.
That fucking... I don't give a shit about the curb stomp. I don't care if that's banned or not, which is stupid that's banned. Ban the fucking buckle bomb because that has already...
It's gonna get fucking
That has
banned.
already injured two wrestlers. Ended a fucking wrestler's career, and you injured your top star who just won a fucking title.
Yep.
Fuck you.
You know what? It's gone. I guarantee it's another move that's gone. Guarantee you.
So, now that I'm done with that, next segment.
So, basically what we're gonna get is 4 qualification matches to see who's going to be in a fatal 4-way next week for the brand new vacated title that you just minted this title. The guy has just barely put it on his shoulder, and then the guy has to give it back again.
To save consistency on the matches we had tonight, we're going to tell you who's going to fight who next week.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, we got Seth Rollins against Sami Zayn, which I gotta be honest.
Oh, and by the way, Zayn got fucking hurt too. Twisted his knee.
Seriously.
I'm not joking. He twisted his fucking knee the next night against Rollins.
Now, is that legit or not?
He legit twisted his knee. He even showed on replay he twisted his fucking knee.
Okay. Because I was watching it going, this is some of the greatest freaking selling I've seen in my life.
He wasn't selling. He was hurt.
He was legit hurt, but I bet you got to hand it to Zayn for pushing through that. I mean, some of the best selling that I thought I was watching in my life. Excellent. The fact that he worked through that injury in that match with those spots, they need to put Zayn in some more high-profile matches.
So Rollins ended up winning.
Rollins goes on to the Fatal 4-Way. No surprise there. The New Day comes out to celebrate their 1 year. I mean, 1 year, that's impressive. I mean, in the modern era, to have a title for longer than 40 days is impressive.
Right.
What culminates in this pisses me off. Because the club comes out and said, are you kidding me, blah, 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 blah. They put the Big E against Anderson, which he then beats Anderson and makes the club look like a joke. Which is the running joke is that this team is a joke. Which pisses me off because they should be a legitimate threat to these titles.
Is this what's going to happen to us every time we watch Raw now? We're going to be pissed off?
It's amazing. It's amazing all the bad vitriol that comes out when we're talking about one bad thing, and then one bad thing leads to another bad thing, and then before you know it, it's a whole maelstrom of bullshit.
There was the only one redeeming factor came out of this night, which we'll talk about soon.
Okay, well, speaking of bullshit, Titus O'Neil comes out and puts his fucking foot directly into his mouth and ruins this promo. He says that you would think that losing the fucking tag titles would be the worst day of my life, but it was the best day of my life because I got rid of Darren Young. And then fucking O'Neil comes out, and then he starts bullying him and throwing him around, and then Darren Young comes out and he lays him out too. This is what they should have done from the beginning.
Have just big guys beat ass.
No, like these two never should have faced each other until this moment. Just keep them away from each other until this moment. Now it makes sense. It makes sense in this context.
And then they'll bring them back together when they realize, again, we don't know what to do with these two.
Because neither of them are any good without each other. Because they booked O'Neal so badly that no one will ever see him as a credible threat. It's just like Dolph Ziggler.
This is his second heel turn. Again, fucking with Darren Young.
It's the second time we turned on Darren Young, but we're wrestling fans, so we forgot about that happened the first time.
Because, all wrestling fans have Alzheimer's within the span of a year.
Yes, exactly. So this is unfortunately gonna go forward and gonna go on again. Okay? Now, we review the Brock beatdown because Monday Night Raw just loves to review shit. And Stephanie says there's going to be repercussions for Brock Lesnar. No shit. He's going to be off TV for a while because he has a limited appearance contract. They're going to suspend
not
him.
because he bloodied your fucking
no,
one of your main guys, but because it says in his contract he can only appear sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Next match. Wrestler with an injury fighting a wrestler without an injury and selling the shit out of it. Big Cass somehow qualified for the World Heavyweight title tournament against Rusev with taped up ribs because Roman beat the shit out of him at the pay-per-view. And I'm watching this going, this is the fucking greatest. The way Rusev is selling these fucking ribs, the guy's ribs are fucking broken. He's kicking him in the ribs 17 times. The guy runs the guy's ribs into the fucking steps. I'm watching. I honestly shouldn't be laughing, but I'm laughing.
It's one of those moments where you can't help but laugh because of how
it's
comical
so preposterous
it is. Yes.
It is. Like, number one, you wouldn't even go in the ring with the fucking broken ribs like that. The guy's like, Rusev, ribs crushed. It's fucking absurd. Anyway, Rusev just says, fuck this, count out. So Big Cass goes on to the fucking Fatal 4-Way. Believe me, there's going to be repercussions for Roman Reigns moving forward for this.
Maybe. The next match.
Okay, there's a Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho interview
with
talking about who's going to be going on to the Fatal 4-Way.
And the answer is it.
They're going to get it, and apparently Chris Jericho is going to win, and Kevin Owens says, I'm going on to this tournament. Brilliant, dude. Totally brilliant. But feigning dissension between the two.
Well, they're both heels. Something's gonna fucking happen.
Something's gonna happen here. And unfortunately, I like these two guys the way they are. Hopefully that they just don't...
Well, they're egomaniacs, kind of like when Jericho was with Christian back in 2003. It seems like it's the same thing, where both these guys are so full of their own shit, they're never gonna get along.
Yeah. It's there's too much ego and too small of a bubble, right? So that's what we're getting to, and of course Tom Phillips. They can't seem to call the guy the right name, which is very amusing. Okay, very amusing.
It's because they don't care. That's why.
I gotta say, okay, for the next segment, it's the women's segment. I gotta say, has Charlotte improved like 9,000 %? Like.
Well, I want to hear your answer first.
Like, she comes out and puts herself over is almost the fucking greatest of all time. It is Charlotte from where she started. How long has she been in this women's division? Maybe a year? Maybe this whole thing started about a year ago?
A year or two ago.
Where she's come, just in the last 6 months, unreal, dude. This promo that she cuts, just fucking unreal. Great. I am the greatest. Bailey comes out, okay?
McFoley
this freaking crowd fucking is going crazy, okay?
But they
I have not seen absolutely. I was hoping she'd come out on SmackDown because they could really use good wrestlers from SmackDown.
I was hoping for that.
But we do what we normally do. Put everybody on Raw. Put everybody on Raw. Unbelievable, man, the response. When's the last time we had someone with the response that she's got?
AJ. Okay. Royal Rumble.
When's the last time that they actually had somebody that wasn't from NXT that got that kind of fucking response?
AJ. Royal Rumble.
Yeah. It's like But look at all the ones that they actually created from OVW. When's the last time someone like that?
John Cena.
See? How long has it been since they actually created somebody like that?
He didn't originally start off like that, though.
No.
But as he generally went by, people would still go nuts for him. Mm-hmm. Now they just love to hate him.
So, essentially, Bailey wants the women's title. And then proceeds to beat the shit out of Brooke.
Well, it was actually a come-to match where she's like, okay, why don't you fight Dana then? And Dana's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I never agreed to this. He's like, oh, yeah, you got this. There's dissension.
She's going to turn on her, too.
She should.
Yeah, she's going to turn on her. You can see this happening. I'm not your freaking lackey. I'm a legitimate threat. Like, the Batista thing. I'm not your muscle. I'm your, I'm a legitimate threat to your fucking title.
You can't let your bitch work on me. What do I look like?
Right.
A bitch.
Speaking of what's next, bitch. Roman Reigns interview segment. I'm gonna fuck up. Oh, who is it that he fights? I'm gonna fuck up Chris Jericho. Basically. I'm gonna shut him up. Blah, 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 blah. Tater tots.
Stupid idiot.
Tater tots.
Not a bad guy. I'm the guy. Well, you're the fucking drug.
I'm back in the title picture again for some reason.
The way you're singing his voice already sounds like he's doing drugs again.
Okay. And just the bullshit continues here.
He's never gonna get that let down. They're gonna eat him up for fucking that one fuck up.
Interview segment with Sheamus. He cuts up all the sports teams from Brooklyn and says, I'm gonna win this best of 7 series.
Sheamus shit talked Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Which pissed me off a little bit because, I worked on the movie. I was the laborer for that movie. I got my freaking name on the back of the t-shirt. I didn't obviously get in the movie because I'm fucking labor. I'm not going to get in there. But it was just awesome to work on that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a great movie. Well, this isn't a movie review. I'm just saying it was a good movie. Like, it does not deserve what the fucking critics are giving it.
Mm-hmm.
It's way better.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he says, like, just like Suicide Squad, it builds up to the hype, and then it all falls apart. I'm like, I don't understand where you're getting that from. They didn't fucking fall apart. Mm-hmm. The problem I have is that you have to be like an actual DC fan in order to like this movie. You can't be a common watcher where it's like, oh, a superhero movie, I'm gonna go watch it, because then you're one of those dumb fucking bitch moms who's gonna complain to Deadpool because you're like, oh, it's Marvel, I thought it was PG for kids. Then you've never read the fucking comic. You don't know that Deadpool is a loudmouth, swearing jackass who will kill for the sport of it because he thinks it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
He will piss on your dead body. That's the type of guy he is.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is all villains. They're gonna shit talk. They're gonna kill people for the sport of it, and you're gonna get a good laugh out of it because it's the world's worst superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like this movie, because it's different. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. But enough about me ranting about Sheamus not watching movies properly.
Sheamus, I don't even like this fucking best of 7 series thing. I think it's bullshit. Especially it's like 2 guys that are just not fucking relevant. So it's like,
this is what sucks actually about Cesaro. He should be relevant. That's
he should
what's
be relevant,
terrible about
but the thing is, the guy cuts that amazing shoot promo, and then they fucking throw him in this bullshit angle. They just bury him again in the fucking mid-card again.
Proving his fucking point.
Yeah. So, I'm done with this one. Johnny Knockout. The guy's name is Johnny Knockout against Braun Strowman in a crush match.
I like fighting big, sweaty men.
Yeah, I like fighting big, sweaty men. That's the reason why I'm in this match. Very fucking disturbing. The only part I like about this match is after he beats him the first time, he gives him another finisher, and he forces the referee to count again.
So we're getting
the King Kong Bundy angle. Like, I fucking love it. I love that shit. But King Kong Bundy was like, give me the 4 count.
Give me a 5 count.
He was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. I love it. If the guy was even like decent wrestler, I'd say, yeah, this is great. But you know what? What it is entertainment. That's all it is.
But I'm kind of getting sick of these squash matches. I mean, they have 2 of them a fucking week now. With one with Nia and one with Braun. It's like, Braun can wrestle. He's fucking huge. He can actually put on a good match. Watching Nia Jax sit down leg drop, I'd rather go take a shit for an hour.
Okay.
I'll get more enjoyment out of taking a shit than watching a shit match. That's what sucks about her.
What I want to see is I want to see Braun Strowman now take on 2 guys at the same time. We're
doing the Ryback angle.
The Ryback thing, because you have to. That's the way that's the way it's done. Do you remember by the time that Ryback got to the main event, you remember how over he was?
And they never gave it to him.
No, they didn't. I would have done the title switch.
CM Punk is like, I'm not fucking dropping the title to dumb as fuck.
I would have done unfortunately, John Cena got hurt. If you're going to put him in the match, you had to let him win the match. Because you just put the needle in the freaking Hindenburg. And it just freaking blew up. Big time.
Berlin in the Wall.
Yeah. It blew up freaking big time. If you're going to do that, I would have had him go undefeated for an additional year. Then I would have put the title on him. Put him in the Royal Rumble. Have him throw out more guys than ever before and just crush a guy. Destroy him. Instead, you throw him against CM Punk. The guy's on an insane roll. And granted, if you look at it in retrospect, it was a good move to do that. Just find somebody else to do. Find somebody else to throw in there. Put Randy Orton in there. Again! You just put anybody in there. Don't put Ryback in there to lose. I said my piece. The Dudleys come out to say goodbye to their career. Really, really good.
Fuck.
And did you just get the feeling when you were watching this that they feel like Devon was just gonna, get turned on? Like Bubble would just you see him just back there and you think, like, man, this guy.
Because for the past month or so, they've been accidentally hitting each other, so you can tell they're not on their game. Which is what they're trying to play off as. I wasn't going to think they were going to retire. I thought there's going to be a turn or something.
Well, what happened was the team that I had given up on, Anderson Gallows, they come out and beat the shit out of the Dudley Boys.
Put them through the table.
They put him through. They put the Magic Killer on the floor, and they put the Magic Killer through the fucking table. Great. And now the Dudley Boys are apparently finished.
Yeah, which sucks.
I mean, if they're gonna go out anyway, that is the way I guess they would prefer to go out.
They get the shit kicked out of them through a table.
Go through a table. They spent their whole career putting guys through tables. Their career ends going through a table. Don't worry, in a couple years they'll be back again. The main event is Roman Reigns versus Chris Jericho. Crowd boos the shit out of this guy. Boos the shit out of him. And then they just keep cheering, Y2J, we hate Reigns. Y2J, we hate Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens runs in for interference.
Gets
Roman Reigns.
Superman punched for his troubles.
Roman Reigns wins this match. Yeah. Are you surprised by this result?
No,
really?
I'm not.
Neither am I. So
next match.
Next week we get Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens.
Well, that's the end of the show. I forgot.
Big Cass and Roman Reigns in a fatal 4-way for once again the vacant Universal Championship.
And I guess that's Raw.
Any idea what you think is going to happen in this match?
We have Reigns versus Rollins versus
Cass
versus Owens. I'm going to say it's going to be fucking Rollins.
That is the feeling that I got too, and this is why I say this. On Sunday, Roman Reigns takes out Rusev, which results in Rusev being unable to compete in the Universal Championship qualification match, whereby Rusev comes out, fucks with Reigns, takes him out of this match. These two can have their feud continue down the road for the U.S. title. You ruin my chance for the title, I'm taking the U.S. title. It's real simple. It's real simple. Reigns is not winning this match. Big Cass, he's not. I mean, he's definitely over with the audience, but he's not ready to be world champion.
Rusev is still the United States champion, though. He already has the title.
Who?
Rusev. You forget he's the U.S. champion.
No, I do. But I think Reigns is going to take it from him on the next pay-per-view. I think that's what's going to happen at the next pay-per-view.
How fucking long have The Miz and Rusev held their titles for?
Oh, Miz is 144 days of the non-stop Intercontinental title tour. 140-something days.
For
Okay.
fuck's sakes.
Okay.
We're going to get to SmackDown here?
We're going to get to SmackDown. Then we're left with Owens and Rollins, and to me that's the only two viable options.
Right.
To me.
Could you see Owens winning?
Yes, I can. What I can't see, let me tell you this, what I can't see is Jericho helping him win. And then the whole time you have this angle of Jericho claiming to be the co-owner of the Universal Championship.
Because he would help him
He
win.
helped them, so like they're kind of a team, which will result in the breakdown of this team.
Or we're going to split the title in half like they did with Lake.
Or you know what? Either that, or Jericho tries to come in, and he ends
accidentally
up
fucks
costing
over
him,
Rollins.
and the other guy costs him. All that's left is Cass, and Rollins is, the conclusion is that Rollins becomes the second Universal Champion in history. That's our review for Monday Night Raw. Do you want to take a break?
Do you want to? We can keep going.
We can keep going, but this has been about half an hour. We can take a break,
All right.
and then we'll come back with the next segment, the review of SmackDown.
All right, we'll see you on the next segment.
Okay, cool.